$1 billion dam isn't just concrete. It's a weapon. One strike, and suddenly the map changes. Roads vanish, trenches drown, and supply lines get cut without firing a shot. This is the story of how a massive Soviet-era fortress turned into dead weight the moment precision hits entered the chat. So here's the question for you. If you're holding a defensive line and the water starts rising, do you stay and get trapped or pull back and give up ground? Comment your choice below. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. A dam is supposed to be the safe spot. Then no one hits this spot. But on a front line, that idea dies fast, because a dam isn't just a wall holding water back. It's a bridge you can roll armor across. It's a power node that feeds lights, pumps, radios, and repair bays. It's a road hub where supply trucks don't have to detour for miles. And if it fails, it's a ready-made flood weapon that doesn't care whose flag is on the bank. So when a dam sits near the fighting, it becomes a magnet. Every staff map in every command post has it circled. Not because it's pretty, because it's a lever. You pull it once, and a whole stretch of ground turns from defendable into good luck. Now at the price tag, $1.35 billion. That kind of money buys you thick reinforced concrete, huge gated spillways, steel hoists, service tunnels running like veins through the structure, control rooms with panels and alarms, and backup power so the gates still move when the grid drops. It buys you heavy doors, access ladders, cranes, and all the boring stuff that keeps water tame day after day for decades. The whole point is survival through neglect, storms, ice, heat, and time. But a dam isn't an armored bunker. It wasn't built to take warhead shock and keep working like a tank. It was built to manage pressure, seepage, and flow. That's a different kind of strong. And the scary part is, those limits aren't secret. Engineers know them. Soldiers can learn them. Once you understand where a dam is sensitive, you stop thinking, how do we blow up a mountain? And start thinking, what do we break so the mountain breaks itself? Here's the basic layout, in plain words. On top you've got the crest, the road and walkway where vehicles cross. Then you've got gates, big metal doors that control release through the spillway. You've got intake areas where water is pulled toward turbines or channels. Under all of that is the foundation, where the structure grips the riverbed. And inside, you've got galleries, service spaces and tunnels where crews inspect cracks, run cables, and operate gear. Some parts love slow pressure. They hate fast shock. Gates can jam. Hoist can seize. Control lines can snap. A tunnel can flood. A seam can open where concrete meets rock. And once water finds a new path, it doesn't need permission. It will chew and widen and undercut. That's why a dam doesn't need to explode to fail. You don't need movie fireballs. You need a breach, a stuck gate, or damage in the wrong internal space, and then gravity takes over. So think like a planner. If you're targeting this thing, you don't waste effort on the thickest block of concrete in the center mass. That's the part designed to just sit there and take load. You aim at function. You aim at what keeps the water controlled. The gate machinery, the control room, the power feed, the narrow points where a small failure turns into a big leak. It's like shooting a lock instead of shooting the door. And that's how one precise hit can win without raw force. The strike doesn't have to destroy the dam. It just has to start a chain the engineers can't stop fast enough. A jammed gate means water stacks up. A damaged gallery means crews can't get in to fix it. Lost power means the manual backups get used, and those take time. Minutes matter when the river is doing the math. So how does a $1.35 billion dam get taken out in a single strike? And why was it sitting exposed? Because it became a fixed, obvious, high-value node that couldn't move, couldn't hide, and had too many must-protect points all in one place. And now the big question, what kind of weapon even gets a clean shot on a target like that when air defenses are watching the sky? Russia can stack missiles, guns, and radar in layers. Ukraine still found a hole. So how does a dam end up bleeding water anyway? Because this is modern war. It's not who has the biggest bomb. It's who finishes the kill chain first. Find it, fix it, hit it, film it. Sensors first, warhead second, and the camera at the end so everyone knows it worked. Finding a dam is easy. It's on every map and it doesn't move. The hard part is finding the one spot that matters today, right now. That's where drones, spotters, and long-range eyes earn their pay. You watch for gate crews, for heat from a control building, for vehicles parked where they only park during repairs, and for traffic patterns that tell you which road on the crest is active. Then comes the fix. That means you turn a big target into a small target. Not the whole wall, not the whole river. One gate bay, one service entry, one control room corner, one stretch where the structure transitions from thick concrete to steel and seals. You lock that point in, you set your angles, and you wait for the window. Now the hit. People want one magic weapon. That's not how it works. There are a few delivery paths that can all do the job if the aim is right. A standoff missile can stay outside the worst air defense rings and still arrive with guidance that bites into a chosen panel. Guided rockets can do a quick pop-up, dump energy on a tight point, and disappear. Drones can come low, slow, and dumb-looking, then put a shaped charge exactly where metal meets concrete. And yes, inside the fence sabotage is always on the table in any war, because one person with access can beat a whole battalion of air defense. Here's the tension. Air defense doesn't protect concrete. It protects airspace, and no one needs to own the whole sky. They need one lane, 1 minute, one gap where the radar is late or the launcher is empty or the crew is staring at the wrong track. So how do you make that gap? You spam the screen. Decoys that look like real threats. Low-flying profiles that hide in ground clutter. Night timing so optics struggle and crews are tired. Terrain masking so the approach is invisible until the last seconds. And overload, because if you give an operator 10 fast targets at once, they will miss one. They always miss one. Then the moment it works is ugly and quiet at first. No Hollywood fireball. Just a crack, a dull thump, and then a new sound. Water under pressure has a voice. It starts as a hard hiss, then a roar, then it turns into a steady, growing thunder as flow finds the path of least resistance. That's the now it's physics phase. No commander can order the water to stop. Engineers can't argue with it. If a gate is stuck half open, you don't negotiate it closed. If a gallery floods, you don't send a team in without drowning them. You just watch the river take control. What does that look like downstream? Think in simple numbers you can feel. If the level drops even a few feet behind the dam, that's a massive amount of water on the move. Floodwater doesn't creep like rain runoff. It surges. It rides the channel fast, then spills into low ground and fills it like a bathtub with the plug ripped out. Now put yourself in a trench line. The water hits the bottom first. Then the comms go, because power packs get soaked and cables short. Ammo turns into dead weight. Rifles still work, but magazines jam when grit and water mix. Vehicles bog. Tracks spin. Tires sink. The best route out becomes one raised road, and that road is now a shooting gallery and a causeway with water licking over the edges. So the payoff is simple. A weapon doesn't need to punch through the whole dam. It needs precision guidance, the correct aim point, and a short air defense saturation window. After that, the dam does the rest. And the water? That's a mobility kill. Supply denial. Forced retreats on a clock. Command rhythm snapped in half. Okay, water moves fast. So who was downstream when it hit? And how many units had minutes instead of hours to react? $1 billion didn't make it safe. It made it predictable. In 2026-style war, the biggest objects aren't fortresses. They're landmarks. Fixed, mapped, measured, and packed with seams, gates, wires, and rooms you can't pick up and move. So planners don't fear them. They route around them, then cut them, because the weak points stay in the same place forever. What would you do if you're holding that line and the water starts rising? Stand and risk getting boxed in, or pull back and give up ground? Comment your choice below. If you want to understand the tactical mindset that wins these battles, subscribe now, because the next targets won't be tanks. They'll be the map itself. Subscribe and join a community that seeks to understand the realities of modern conflict.